When using tools such as Vault.com for researching and compiling lists of target companies, what are some tips for uncovering this information?
Become a gold member of Vault.com so you can access the information. That would be, people ask me all the time, when should I become a gold member? Just for those of you that don't know, we do have a subscription service that gives you access to employee reviews of a company, insider company profiles that are written by our editorial team, and access to salary data. And the reality is, throughout your entire job search and career management lifecycle, there's information that's of value there, particularly because it's a crowdsourcing mechanism. So face-to-face networking is critical, but one individual at a company, their perspective will not necessarily give you enough information about what it's really like to work at the company. But when you have 100 individuals from one company where they've all shared what it's like to work there, and you've had a career expert from Vault read through all that survey data and compile it into a quantitative and qualitative profile, then you're really learning something about where their growth might be lying, where the business is heading within the next year or two, how to get hired, how did these individuals at the firm get hired, what do they say about working there, would I even enjoy working there based on what the company culture is like. You don't need to apply to every job that you're qualified for. Imagine the time you would save is if you could do a blanket research, spend a week researching and finding these target companies, and then focus your time on building those connections at the companies. Don't send out hundreds of resumes a day. It's a waste of time. Find out where you want to work, where you can make an impact, and then focus on that.
Quick question. Does anyone think it's effective to send out hundreds of resumes?
Hundreds of resumes.
Do you think it's effective to send out hundreds of resumes? Anybody?
No.
Okay.
No.
We're in agreement.
If you target 100 companies you'd like to work for, I think it's effective.
If you really target them.
Yeah.
And if you're specific to the job.
And then you're up till 3 a.m. networking.
I would just want to
please,
piggyback
Sharon.
one comment,
Sure.
not on Vault necessarily,
Sure.
but blogs in general are really wonderful ways of looking into a corporation's culture. It's like a window on the soul of a corporation.
Sure.
And frankly, and we know this, those of us that have been working, every culture is not for everyone.
Oh, boy.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So if
Sure.
you, in the course of your research, you've got these 100 companies or more, and you can winnow them down because you are reading the blogs and you say, ooh, that's not for me. Or, gee, I really like this, but I don't think I can be successful here. So not only are you saving yourself time and aggravation, but you're also saving the time of the company.
Sure.
Because they're not, getting your resume and they can't do anything about it. So, look at the blogs too.
You'll be taken more seriously if you know that there's a decent match rather than you're just doing that spray approach.
Just throwing that resume
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrific.
I
Pam.
would say to leverage your professional associations. If you don't belong to an association in your industry, go join one.
Oh, sure.
Meet the other people who've worked for the other companies that you might be interested in. You can gossip, you can network. And one of the things you can actually do is volunteer. They're always looking for people to chair a committee or be the secretary or the vice president for a season. And if you don't know the associations, I want to give a plug for Sybil. People know what Sybil is?
Oh, yeah.
The business library, industry and business library, tons of free databases and tools there, including the Encyclopedia of Associations, where you can look up and see every association affiliated with graphic design, for example, if you don't know where to start with that. But I think that's a great way to kind of feel what other people are saying about particular companies beyond Vault, because Vault is wonderful and I spend some time on
Well,
there.
so now that you mentioned Sybil, it's a great resource for all New Yorkers. The science industry or the Science Industry and Business Library subscribes to the Vault Career Insider, which gives people free access to Vault guides at the library only, unfortunately. We want them to open it up, but they'd have to pay more. We are for-profit as well, but if you go to the library, you can spend all day there reading Vault guides at their
And Sybil's at 34th and Madison.
And they've got Hoover's and LexisNexis and all these things that you can get on for free.
SIBL.
Yeah, acronym SIBL.
So great. Brian, did you have anything you wanted to add? No? Okay. Should we move on?
Just want to
Yeah,
add
Rose, go
one
ahead.
thing also, when you finally get to the interview process and you're really targeting this company that you may think could be the right fit, it's not about them interviewing you. You're also interviewing them. You want to make sure you're happy in that job, because without being happy, you won't be successful in that job. You need to love what you do, get up in that morning,